When a student is working on a Classworks mini lesson, they may have to pause in the middle of their work. In order to come back to where they left off, the best idea is to have the students keep track of their work in a notebook. Students should be taking notes in a notebook in order to make sure that they're giving themselves the best opportunity to learn from the mini lesson. In an upper grade lesson, students can note what screen they're on. In this case, they're in the middle of screen 2 of 3, and they've just completed the left-hand side of the assignment. As noted in a previous video, the students should be dating their notes, writing down the topic, so introducing points, lines, segment, and raise, and writing down any definitions and diagrams that will support their learning. If a student needs to close out of class work before they're finished, they can simply write they ended early and then write themselves a note to begin on screen 2 of 3 on the top right side of the page. The screens may only have one panel for our youngest learners, and their notes may look a little simpler, but they can still write down the title as well as what screen to start on. So they might begin on screen 2 of 5. In this lesson, the student would have already completed screen 1 of 3. Notice that on the bottom in the middle blue box it says screen 1 of 3. They may have written their notes, use those buttons that say click again, and use the buttons that say show me. They may have even come across little practice exercises where they're shown examples and asked to choose information. This may be the point at which they need to take a break. So before they close out Classworks, they'll notice what screen they're on. Again, in this case, screen 2 of 3. They'll notice that they're on the right-hand side. They're going to begin with that choose the lines that are parallel exercise, and they'll make a note in their notebook. The next time they return to Classworks, they will use their yellow triangles. Their notebook would have said they're beginning on screen 2 of 3 on the right-hand side, and they'll continue on. They may be concerned that the computer on the left side of the screen does not show the answer that they chose for those first 2 examples. That's okay. This is their practice. This is their lesson. You might want to explain to the students that the same way as if a lesson is interrupted by a fire drill, the teacher doesn't have to start over again. Or if you go home for the evening, you might continue your lesson with the next page in the book. And when you come back to class the next day, you won't necessarily repeat the same practice questions. You might continue on to the next page with those practice items.